There is an animal so tough you can boil it, freeze it solid, blast it with radiation, and even toss it into the airless vacuum of space, and it just shrugs and walks away. It's smaller than a grain of sand, and it might be living in the moss on your roof right now. Meet the tardigrade, nicknamed the water bear. Under a microscope, it looks like a chubby 8-legged gummy bear, lumbering along on stubby clawed feet. Most are under a millimeter long, far too small to see clearly with the naked eye. They've been on Earth for over 500 million years, quietly outlasting almost everything. People also call them moss piglets, and the nickname fits. Tardigrades love damp, mossy places, a film of water on a leaf, a clump of lichen, the gunk in a roof gutter. There are well over 1,000 known species, living everywhere from Himalayan peaks to deep ocean trenches to the puddle in your backyard. Up close, they're oddly charming. 8 legs, a round body, and a tube-like mouth they use to pierce plant cells, algae, or even other tiny animals and slurp out the contents. Some have simple eye spots. They walk with a slow, bumbling gait, which is exactly why early scientists named them tardigrade, meaning slow stepper. But here's the twist. A normal, active, well-watered tardigrade is actually pretty fragile. You could squish one without trying. Its superpower only switches on when life gets desperate. When its little world dries out, the tardigrade does something almost no other animal can. It chooses to nearly shut itself down. As the water vanishes, the tardigrade pulls in its head and legs and curls into a tiny dried-out barrel shape. Scientists call this the ton. In this form, it loses almost all of its body water, dropping to just a few percent. It's no longer really living its normal life. It's pressing pause. This pause has a name, cryptobiosis, meaning hidden life. The tardigrade's metabolism drops to a tiny fraction of 1% of normal, so low that scientists can barely detect it at all. It isn't dead. It isn't quite alive in the usual sense either. It's in a strange in-between, waiting for water to return. So how does drying out not destroy it? Normally, losing your water shreds your cells from the inside. But tardigrades make special molecules, tardigrade-specific proteins, that flood the cell as it dries and harden into a kind of glass. This glassy state cradles the delicate machinery of life, holding everything in place until better days. You might have heard a sugar called trehalose does this. In some creatures it does, but here's a genuine surprise. In several tardigrade species, scientists find very little trehalose, or none at all. So these animals seem to have evolved their own toolkit for surviving drought, one researchers are still working hard to fully understand. Once it's a dried ton, the tardigrade becomes almost absurdly hard to kill. In the lab, tons have survived being heated past the boiling point of water. They've endured cold close to absolute zero, colder than deep space. And they can sit, bone dry and dormant, for years, possibly decades, then wake up. Pressure? No problem. Tons have shrugged off forces many times greater than the crushing depths of the deepest ocean trench. And radiation that would kill a human many times over barely phases them. One protein they make, nicknamed Dsup, short for damage suppressor, actually shields their DNA from radiation damage. Which raises an irresistible question. If they can survive boiling, freezing, crushing, and radiation, could a tardigrade survive the one place that kills almost everything? The raw, airless, freezing, radiation-soaked vacuum of outer space. In 2007, scientists decided to actually find out. They sent dried tardigrades into orbit aboard a European spacecraft and exposed them directly to open space for 10 days, no air, no shielding. Some were even hit with the full blast of the sun's ultraviolet rays. By every expectation, nothing should have come back alive. But back on Earth, the researchers added water, and many tardigrades simply woke up. Some even went on to lay eggs that hatched normally. They had just become the first animals known to survive the open vacuum of space and live. The little water bears had gone to space and come home fine. Now, let's be fair and bust the myth. Tardigrades are not truly indestructible. All those records come from the dried ton state. An active, watered tardigrade going about its day is soft and surprisingly easy to harm. The magic isn't a tough shell. It's the ability to switch life almost entirely off and back on again. And maybe that's the most wonderful part. There's no fortress, no armor, just a clever pause button hidden inside a speck of an animal. The next time it rains, water seeps into the moss, and somewhere a tiny barrel softens, unfurls 8 legs, and ambles off as if nothing happened at all. So the toughest animal on Earth isn't a shark or a scorpion. It's a half-millimeter moss piglet that survives by knowing when to stop. If you felt a little spark of wonder, subscribe to the Curious Owl Bite-Sized Wonder every day. We'll see you in the next one.